it's recording, finally. My GoPro be tripping sometimes, but what the fuck is up? Oh my god, what the fuck is up, YouTube? It's been a minute. I've been wanting to make a video for so long. Like, I was so conscious of the fact that I wasn't making videos. Like, I swear I was conscious. So I was always thinking about y'all. I promise. I was always thinking about y'all. I'm like, damn, I need to make a video. Damn, I need to make a video. But I've been so busy. This semester, I'm in a bunch of art and film classes. So I'm like creating like non-stop. Like, I'm literally like writing scripts and shooting short films and all sorts of crazy, chaotic shit. And then that's on top of like work and just socializing with my friends and being present with them, you know what I mean? And trying to still be knowledgeable and read up on some shit. Like, right now, let me tell you what I'm on. Like, I really feel like I unpacked the, like, dimensions 1 through 5. Like, I fucking unpacked them all. Like, and this is the video. It's just gonna be about me telling y'all about my research and what I've learned about the different dimensions. Like, okay. So the first dimension, right? We know the first dimension, 1D, is length. 2D is length times width, right? That's a two-dimensional thing, length times width. 3-dimensional, length times width times height. You know, this is all shit that we're learned, right? Length times width times height, that's the third dimension. That's why we're three-dimensional beings. These objects are three-dimensional objects. You know what I mean? Length times width times height. The fourth dimension, and this was something that, you know, I never knew. I used to think of the fourth dimension as being the dimension, the afterlife, the dimension after this life. You know, when we go to bed, I thought that was a fourth dimension. I thought when we astral projected, that's the fourth dimension. When people are doing all of that lucid dreaming, I think, oh, that's the fourth dimension. No, it is not. And like, people still think that because there's a lot of misinformation when you Google time, right? Okay. I don't even know. It's just so deep. Okay, so the fourth dimension is the dimension of time and duration. So I told you the first dimension is length times width times height, length times width times height times time. We are fourth dimensional beings. We live in a fourth dimensional reality because everything has duration. Everything is born and everything dies. Nothing is immortal, you know? And so that's the fourth dimension. We exist on the fourth dimensional realm. We often subject it to the third dimension because it's some real fucking governmental conspiracy bullshit. Some fucking control. That's real levels of control by never teaching us. You know why? It's like, why haven't we learned that? Why is it that we stopped at the third dimension? Why isn't that something that we're told about, that the fourth dimension is time? You know, that the fourth dimension is duration. Like, and if you think about it, it's like, of course, because the government controls time. Our time is totally off. I need to mix this next track in here. Yeah, I'm in total Willow Smith like appreciation in mode always. You know me, you know, if you know me, you know that I'm always in total awe. And if you also know me, bruh, that's a whole nother story. I have to tell y'all how I was with Willow Smith, but I just didn't say anything because I was like, this is my girl. Like, I love her so much, I couldn't even speak. Anyways, that's a whole different story. I'll make another video about that. That's gonna be funny. But yeah, so the fourth dimension, the dimension of time, right? The dimension of duration. Of course, the government controls time. Of course, you know, we have these man-made fixtures of what time is and how it controls us. Time governs us, you know? We have to be here at this time. We have to turn in this assignment at this time. We have to go somewhere at this time. We have to do this at this time. Everything is based off time. When you eliminate time, you eliminate, you know what I mean? You eliminate control, really, if you really want to get deep with it. If we don't have time constraints, if we don't have time as a factor, there's no control, you know? So I think it's interesting that we're not taught that the fourth dimension is time because it allows you to start thinking about shit. You feel me? Like, because once I realized that is when I just started to have these thoughts like, oh shit, you know, if you control time, you control everybody's life. The government controls time. They're like, from this time to this time, this is the daytime, this is when shit gets done, this is the time. So you have to live your whole life based around this social construct of what time is, when really it doesn't exist. And not saying that it does, like, time itself doesn't exist, duration does exist, but in the social construct in which we use time, it's totally fake, it's totally fictitious, you know what I mean? And It's just so much. Okay, so that's the fourth dimension, the dimension of duration. And that's what we are. We're fourth dimensional beings, or third dimensional beings, or second dimensional beings, or one dimensional beings, or all of this. We're all of this. You know, we exist on every level. We are one with everything in this universe and in this multiverse. And that's for another video where I'm starting to learn about the multiverse. I'm always like, universe, but there's multiple universes, so it's the multiverse. Fuck! There's just so much information that I don't know how to relay, but I'm gonna do my best. Anyways, that's the fourth dimension. The fifth dimension, from how I reduced it in my mind, I'm gonna mix another song in there. I'm just gonna play her whole EP after that plays. But SZA's album dropped. Alright, anyways. So the fifth dimension is the dimension of dreams. So, well, I mean, I'm just simplifying it for y'all, because if I tell y'all what I've researched and what I learned, it's gonna sound like a bunch of shit. Literally. So I'm just reducing it so that way it's easily comprehensible. So when we go to bed, we're in a whole different realm. So the fifth dimension is a realm and is a world that exists that is just like our own, but is slightly different. So for an example, if you've seen Insidious, you know that guy's son was like trapped in this whole different dimension, right? He was in this whole different realm, and like, but it looked just like theirs. You know, you've seen them sitting at the table with their eyes closed. So they were there in the 3D and 4D world there, but the guy came out of himself. You know what I mean? He traveled outside of himself, and he could still see the fourth and third dimensional things. You know what I mean? But they couldn't see him. He was still existing in a different place, but it operated slightly differently than the one that he was previously in, if that makes sense. Another example, and that's why I say it's like the dreamscape. So like when you go to bed at night, you know, and you're dreaming about this world, right? But it's not this world, you know, because you're in your dream. You're just making it up. You're in a whole different realm. You're in a whole different, like your body, like your physical self is laying in the bed, right? Your physical self is laying in that bed right there, but your mental and your soul, that's what, when you astral project, when you're in this dreamscape, when you're lucid dreaming, when you're doing all those things, your physical body is still in the 4th and 3D world, but your soul, your spirit is ascended, right? It's ascended into the 5D because it's existing in a place that is very much like our own, but is different. It's an alternate reality. And you know, I don't know if you guys ever heard of these things where it's about like, you heard anybody saying like we're shifting to fifth dimensional consciousness. We're shifting into a consciousness where we're aware that there are alternate realities, you know what I mean? And so I started to do more research into the 6th dimension. I haven't unpacked it, so I'm not going to tell you guys what it is, but I believe so far, don't take my word for this part. Everything else you can take my word for, because I feel very confident in what I've learned and what I've acquired and what I've deciphered from that. But the 6th dimension is the dimension of love, the dimension of oneness. And I'm convinced it is, because 5th dimensional consciousness is a shift. The 5D is a shift in consciousness. You know what I mean? It's esoteric, it's shifting in consciousness. So the 6th dimension, if we're shifting in consciousness, the 6th dimension, I don't know. I think it's the dimension of oneness, the dimension of one universal mind, you know? Recognizing that we're all connected. And that's something that I realized when I was on acid, how connected I am. I can see myself. I will see myself vibrating while I was on acid. See myself vibrating, like, you know, we can see ourselves vibrating, but we can't see it because we're so desensitized. We're so conditioned to not see the little things, you know? That's why when we spend a lot of time in nature, we feel so connected to it. We don't know why. We don't know why we like the feeling of being in nature, because we are nature. We are gods. We're plants, we're individual plants, we're seeds, we're growing, we're sprouting, we're breathing, we're living just like these plants that are growing, that are sprouting, that are, you know, I'm on a tangent, but that's my latest knowledge, and I just wanted to share that with y'all. Since I learned it, I just wanted to share it with as many people as possible, because people are still confused about the 4th dimension. People are still confused and think the 4th dimension is the fifth dimension. What I just deciphered, people think the fourth dimension is the dreamland, the dreamscape. You know, they think that, but it's like that's the fifth dimension because the fourth dimension is time. So, and that's perfectly concluded because, you know, her EP ended, and this is the end of this video. But if you have any questions, if anything was unclear, I know this is like crazy information, but please just research everything that I've said. I just try to decipher it the best way I could, in a way that makes me understand it. But there could be ways that you can understand it that I did not touch on, and that's okay. But definitely look into these different dimensions, because once you start to unpack these different dimensions, you start to understand certain levels of control and why we're operating the way we are as a society, and why we're just little fucking puppets, little capitalistic puppets. You know, it's deep. But yeah, this video is fucking 10 minutes long, and I need y'all to get to the end, so I'm just gonna end this. I'm gonna make another video about my experience with Willow and how much, and I had a dream. Anyways, there's mad shit about me and Willow, and we just need to really resonate. I need her to really connect with me because I have such a strong connection to her. But anyways, peace on you guys, love on you guys, man. You already know what it is, man. I love y'all, and you know this. Peace.